One town in Alabama has decided to rescind their bathroom ordinance that was extremely discriminatory against the transgender community. Now, as you guys know, various states, including North Carolina and Mississippi, have passed laws that discriminate against transgender individuals by preventing them from using the restroom that they identify with. Well, Oxford, Alabama took an anti-trans measure and amplified it to a criminal level. They basically had voted to give people jail time if they used what they considered the wrong bathroom. However, council members have voted 3-2 on Wednesday to rescind its controversial restroom measure, which had made it a misdemeanor punishable by a $500 fine or 6 months in jail to use a public bathroom differing from one's birth gender. Now, the reason why they did this is because they realized, oh, maybe this goes against some federal laws. And maybe we need to do something about that. So one council member who voted to repeal the ordinance reportedly cited the view of the city's attorney, who said the measure might violate Title IX provisions of the Civil Rights Act. Also, the Justice Department is currently looking into North Carolina's anti-LGBT law and basically deciding that, hey, this does break some federal laws, federal civil rights laws.
Yeah, of course it does. It's just such a silly conversation. I mean, it's reminiscent of the way gay marriage was used as an election issue. Like, this is not a threat to you and transgendered Americans or visiting transgendered people from other lands who need to urinate are not in any way a threat to you or your children. There was a case today of a woman who turned in, maybe her boyfriend, maybe it was just another guy, turned somebody in for using a camera and spying on women, I think specifically this woman, when she used the bathroom. He was, this is going to surprise you, a guy. He was a man, born a man, who identified as a man.
Cisgender.
He was I'm trying super hard not to use that phrase. So, you know, to the extent that bathroom predation, no way. To the extent that bathroom predators are an issue in this country, it's an issue only from men who identify as men. So, and also this dumb conversation, again, significantly reduces the likelihood that we can have a meaningful conversation when necessary about the threats, the legitimate threats in this country that sexual violence poses. The people who commit sexual violence in this country are overwhelmingly likely to be someone you date, someone you used to date, someone you know, hideously someone in your family. Yeah. Those are the terrible, terrible things that happen. And the time that we spent worrying about whether someone who for their entire life has struggled with their sexual identity and their gender identity, that person is somehow a threat the moment they have to urinate is insane and minimizes the real threats posed across this country that young people, and if you're worried about your kid using a public bathroom, and you shouldn't be, other than maybe germs, you know, that's what you should be worried about, not anything else. And you shouldn't even really be worried about that in that situation. But yeah, but it changes the conversation, and changes the conversation to something silly away from something that matters and is important.
It's true, but at the same time, I'm really happy that this conversation is happening, right? Because look, it doesn't change the fact that there are either ignorant, extremely ignorant, paranoid people out there, or just bigoted people out there. But it at least addresses them, and there is a huge group of Americans that are fighting back against these laws. That's the good thing about it, right? So through this dialogue, as frustrating as it could be at times, there's education and there's awareness, and that alone, I think, makes this worth it, right? So we've been bringing this topic up on almost every show. And some of you guys might be fatigued by it because maybe you feel like it doesn't impact you in any way, shape, or form. But this is how real change happens in the country. This is how change happened for the gay community. This is how I hope change continues to happen for the LGBT community.
And yes, and that's important. I don't want to minimize change for the LGBT community. But also, it's like an instant fight back against a BS issue. And we have failed in this country to fight back against those issues until years went by, frequently, sometimes decades went by. And at least here, instantly, you're like, wait, this is not a thing. This is not a real thing. You are scapegoating in many ways, the weakest people among us for political gain. And for a change, we're going to call you out on it instantly.
Yes.
Instantly. So to me, for the progress of the country, it has less to do with LGBT rights than it does with preventing, for political purposes, some on the far right from using the weakest among us.
Yes.
And I don't mean literally weak, of course. I just mean because life has been almost for everyone with trans issues at some point until they're confident with it and embrace it. It's been hard.
Yeah.
And we should be sympathetic to that to at least some extent, rather than hostile to it. So I'm glad we have sort of recognized that this was being used politically and not because of any genuine concern about anything, because this is not a real issue. This is not a threat.
Stories like this also just make me realize how freaking lucky people like us are, right? Because we don't have to deal with all of this discrimination, right? I mean, you deal with the cards that are dealt. And this highlights the privilege that someone like me has. Like that I was born a woman, I identify as a woman, I like being feminine. You know what I mean? That I have what's an acceptable sexuality. Like these are all challenges that people like me don't have to deal with, right? But I feel like people like me absolutely have to fight for those who are being disenfranchised.
Totally, that's right. I mean, again, phrases that make people bristle, make good people bristle, like white privilege. I get it, why some people hear that.
It's not even white privilege that I'm talking about at the moment. I'm just talking about overall privilege.
No, I'm saying I was going to start talking about me, and I would obviously be unquestionably a beneficiary. It doesn't mean I'm supposed to feel guilty or that I have to pay reparations to everybody else.
Right.
Right. It's just an awareness that maybe my circumstance, a problem we all have as people. You think your circumstances are somebody else's. Well, I handled it. Maybe it doesn't. You can still make a judgment at some point, but don't presume just because you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps in your own. In the narrative that you've created about your life, which is usually pretty positive, right? Yeah. That it's the same as everybody else's. We'd all benefit from carefully examining what makes us accept. The biggest threat faced to me, again, I think about you all the time because you're the woman in this digital broadcasting world. I don't think that's a phrase people use, but in this digital world, who I know best, and so you therefore are the person who gets the most abuse because all women, particularly attractive women, but that's not even fair. All women online get a significant amount of harassment, and you, of course, I know personally. So whenever I get harassment, I always think, oh, this is awful, and then I think, well, could be a lot worse. And not that everything could be a lot worse. You can always find there are always Chilean minors. Yeah. Right. So, not to minimize it all, but the worst abuse I take is that people think I'm like a closet. I'm a closet Hillary supporter, and that's all I've ever wanted was to see Hillary Clinton. I can handle it.
Wait, so you're not?
or am I just that good?